Okay, hello and welcome to Can't Cast. This is
Can't
pod
cast.
can't cast. This is
Cunt cast.
can't cast. It's a can't cast. I kind of pronounce it because I'm from Canada and this is Ed. He's from Germany and we're doing a live podcast about stuff like there's going to be a milkman, an exploding tomato, and we might even do a theme song. Hello, Ed.
Yes. Hello, Anthony. You prefer Ant or Anthony?
Oh yeah, I do
I
like
never asked.
Ant. I do like Ant
You pref-
actually.
this is the sort of thing I probably should have asked before we started recording.
Well, we should tell people about this actually because you we literally talk every day, but we very rarely talk in person. So we mostly talk just about stuff that's I don't know, random. It can be everything, and that's where this all came about. And we've got to actually make a theme song up too, so we'll get to that in a moment's time. I'm just going to draw and ruin your hello,
Oh,
and I'll
okay.
put your name as Ed. Oh shit, I spelled it wrong. I put it as. I'll undo that.
Oh, yo, yo.
And Ant, just so
It's,
I'll
it's
try to
two
do it.
letters. Two letters. You spelled it wrong.
I tried to do an D, but I did it like a bit confused, and it didn't really work out how I wanted it to be. Um. Oh, actually, they can see who's drawing because it comes up with Ed. So that's good news. Good news for those people. So we are going. Should we do the theme song and trying to work out what the name of the show is first, or should we get onto the strange topics involved? What does an
Well, I'm
Ed
not.
look like?
What is what? Sorry.
I tried to work out what does an Ed look like. It's
What does an head look like? Because
yeah,
I've drawn an ant.
yeah. So I don't know
Um,
what.
Well, I'm not sure about the theme song because it might just not work and be fraught with technical issues.
No, no, no. I'm sure it's gonna work. Look, I'll practice. I'll put one. I'll put three notes in. Can you hear that? And then if I
A
play,
little bit. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I heard that.
yeah, I'm gonna delete them and we'll get back. Do you want me to continue with this process of adding more notes and making it like sexier, or do you want me to go sleazy? How do you want this to be as a theme song?
A sleazy theme.
Yeah, well, you got to have those deep vibes. Oh, that's way not deep. And what are we going to call this show? Like, should we random generate some words?
Yes. Although it's already called Can't Cast.
Yep, no, but that's the
Unless
name
we.
of the channel. But this is like a series potentially on what we can't cast,
Okay.
like season one.
I'm going to find. Are we just going to hear random noises in the background?
Yeah, that was
Okay, I'm on a podcast name generator. It
okay.
says describe your podcast as if you were explaining it to your parents.
Oh
Okay.
shit!
I talk a load of bollocks to an Australian man I met on the internet.
That's pretty much perfect.
Okay, how about one man and his bollocks?
One man and his bollocks. I think I need to add some more vibes to this. I don't really like the bass guitar. I'm going to swap over to something a bit more classy. So you say one man and his bollocks, but there's two men, so we can't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking bollocks with Aussie Dad.
No, no, it makes me feel old and decrepit.
Some of these are actually quite good, like absolute bullshittery. Um, Chat with a couple of blokes.
I feel like we need a bit of pizzazz in there, like maybe like a unicorn word.
Okay, how about Ian Lee is a piece of shite?
Ian Lee.
I don't know who Ian Lee is.
Oh,
If
that definitely
if he
works
is even
though.
a real person.
I think Ian Lee would be a real person. Okay, so Ian.
Um,
My brother's name is Ian. So, do you know a Lee? Have you got a brother
no,
named Lee?
no, I don't.
And is it spelled Lee with the Lee or the Leia, Leigh?
It's Lee, but Ian
Oh,
is
good.
spelt in the Welsh way with an A in it.
Yeah, yeah. I like I did on the board
There you
here.
go. I
I live
fixed
with a
that. E I
with.
N.
What the hell is that?
It's an I-A-I-N.
That's
I-A-I-N.
that's not even a
Ian.
word.
That's that's the I think it's the Welsh way of spelling Ian.
No, 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 no. The Welsh way, they have like another 7 letters there.
Yeah, it's more like Wwayalliny. That's how you spell it in Welsh.
Yeah, well, they do add extra. Why do they add so many letters? Do they just steal all the letters that you guys don't have from England and just take them to Welshland? Or oh, that's classy. We can't have that.
But this sounds too good. Is that the problem?
Yeah, that's right. So I'm going back to something well. Oh, scratch 3. If scratch 3 doesn't save us, I don't know what will.
Okay,
Oh,
how
and
about
the voice 5.
how
Okay, go.
about I don't know what happened to Matt, but I'm not sorry.
Matt, Matt was a good guy.
It was Matt.
I don't know. There's an interesting story comes out of all this. I'd like to. I may or may not condemn myself. Okay, it wasn't me. How about that? We'll use someone else. But I actually used to know a guy named Matt Lee who moved to England. Is that like weird, freaky?
No.
Well, it was because you pulled those two names out and then they've come flying back at me.
Yeah, there's a lot of names here. These are just the funny ones.
Oh, that's more
It's just
gross.
I honestly think it's just trying to guess our names.
Yeah, I think so too. Why don't you put down Ant and Ed podcast and see what you get? Also, good morning, Meow. If you're still
Ew.
there, you probably left. She probably left. I dare say she left. That's what normal people do.
It was too bad.
It's too much work. Yeah. I'll just tune in for 1 second. Oh, a bit of choir potentially. And I don't like electric piano much. I'm not an electric piano. But the wah wah 2, that is something that's bespoke. Oh, listen to that. If this does not do something for you, you're in a different planet.
I can't really hear it very well. I'm not sure if
I don't
it's
think
going
anyone
through
can.
here.
Here it is. that's not sleazy enough.
I think it's actually being sent to me through your microphone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
So
I
I'm
am.
only hearing, because it's trying to cancel the noise, I'm only hearing like little bits of it.
Perfect. It probably sounds better than for you.
Can't even hear. I basically can't hear it unless you're talking at the same time.
Okay, so I'll do a rap over it potentially. I'm not really sure that will work out well.
Oh, I found a good name and now I can't find it. Here we go. I'm a mum and I'm an ed expert.
That sounds like your husband has some kind of problem.
ED. Yeah, I think that stands for something.
Yeah, something not all that great.
No, it's not something great.
I'm gonna put laser eyes.
What? Oh, I keep forgetting about this.
Yeah. So have you got the perfect name yet? Well, I
Yeah,
draw.
it was the Matt one, which I
Matt.
no longer remember what it's called.
It was perfect. Well, listen back to that, and that's what the show will be called next week.
It was so perfect that I've forgotten what it was.
I've drawn a river system now, and I will put a blue fish in it. Because I think this throws us straight into your first talking point of fishing.
The thing I can't remember.
The thing you can't remember. So I thought I'd throw you like right in the deep end. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Okay. The next talking point. Tell me what this is, and then you will know if you can work this out. Then you can talk about this. How about that? Is it very good drawing? Yeah. You've got this.
Are they hieroglyphics?
No. It's easy guess now when I put the flower on there. Oh, the leaf. If that's not a exploding tomato, I don't know what is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see it now. Meow says that's an angry burger.
Yeah, or exploding tomato. That's pretty much perfect. She may have left after you started criticizing the Welsh people. You know how many people dislike Welsh, but she's not one of those people.
Yeah, so this is going to be a really shitty story.
Oh, is this a bad one? Should I not have taken this on?
So when I was younger, I watched this stop motion video on YouTube. It was like a stop motion cooking thing. Mm-hmm. And during it, they were making something with tomatoes. And they'll like flatten this tomato with a spatula. Right. So I thought, even though this is a stop motion animation and the tomato was made of plastic, I thought I'd try that. Because for some reason, I thought it actually happened exactly like that. But instead, the tomato just like kind of burst and like exploded all over the kitchen. It just exploded hot tomato juice.
Oh, everywhere. Hot tomato. Did it burn carpet or like lingerie or anything in the house?
In the kitchen?
Yeah.
You have carpet and lingerie in your kitchen?
Well, I've seen those British shows and they have their dryer in the kitchen. So you could have had some freshly dried lingerie come out of the dryer.
Yeah, that is true. But no. And I was not wearing lingerie whilst cooking.
No, I didn't say you were. I was just wondering if the tomato hit something absurd like that to break something down.
No, I think it was quite boring. It just made a bit of a mess. Didn't hit
Well,
anything exciting.
oh well, I've got actually a kitchen story that I'd like to like rebut you with. Is that a word? Rebut? Because
Probably.
anyway, I made it up anyway. So it's very similar to that, except so I you know how I'm into my electric scooters and whatnot. I actually decided I got a couple of flat tires, so I decided that I would go ahead and put some solid tires onto my electric scooter. Yeah. They come and you have to put them in the microwave to warm them up, type thing.
Tires.
Yeah. Your tires.
You put tires in your microwave.
Yeah, so I put the tires in the microwave. The thing that I didn't know that my microwave now smells like rubber tires, and it's just so off-putting. Every time I go to get food out of my microwave, I just smell tires.
Where did you get these tires?
They were just from the internet-y.
Did you buy them from China?
Yes.
Did they come with terribly mistranslated instructions that told you to put them in the microwave?
No. I watched a YouTube video. That was way safer.
Okay, what did putting them in the microwave actually accomplish?
Okay, so what it does is actually makes the tire get a little bit like softer and then pliable. So when you can fit it, and then it'll cool down and shrink and get stuck onto the rim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So there
it's not as
is some.
ridiculous as I thought.
No, it's not as ridiculous as you. But then I actually overcooked the tire. The first tire I did perfectly. The second tire I slightly overcooked it. So then I actually decided to try and reheat it again on the stovetop to try and pull it back into. So here I am with it on the stovetop with a big tire cooking. My wife walks in from working all day and going, I'm not even going to ask about this.
So they are just a gas stove with a tire on it.
Yes.
And your wife walks through the door and she just thinks, my husband has gone completely insane.
You basically no, because she has been hanging around me for a long time now, so she does understand that I have got some weird things about me.
Okay. So she already knew.
She already knew there was something wrong with me. Yes, but I decided to cook some tires, but the worst thing is the microwave smell is not super good. Don't put tires in the microwave. It stinks. I've been trying to cook everything now. I've been like making my mac and cheese, trying to explode to try and like get it into the microwave to embed it in there to get rid of the tire smell.
Did you feed the tires to your children once they were cooked?
No, because they were for the scooter. But yeah, they're not really. Kids are pretty smart. They don't take tires on board. Like, they would eat a whole heap of things, but tires are not one thing that they will really be interested in. Just so we all know that. So that's exploding. What does exploding tomatoes and scooter tires have in common? They both smell really bad. I guess that's it.
They're both food that you should eat.
They're both food. Yeah. I'm just going to draw a nose here. I can't even draw a nose. What's wrong with me today?
Yeah.
I got a fat side. I did like the half nose that way, and then I really thought I would be better at this drawing process. Now it looks like a sad panda. So I
Yeah, I keep forgetting about this drawing thing as well.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like, so it's all good. Um. Anyway, I did have a question. Uh, do you get like a whole lot of celebrities over there in Britain that you run into? Do you ever run into crazy celebrity kind of things?
Well, if I did, I probably wouldn't realise because I don't know anyone.
Really?
Basically,
What, like, wouldn't you know somebody? Like, if there was someone to run into, who would you know? Like, what would be like a celebrity you would like to run into then?
um, I don't know.
You don't know. Oh, no, that's
I
fair.
genuinely, I genuinely don't know anyone.
Okay. No,
I can't
do you
think of anyone.
have you? What about like musicians? Like, I ran into Alice Cooper one time, and we
Really?
were. Yeah. Do you know of him?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
Alice Cooper.
Well, I just had to clarify
He's
that, just so we knew.
famous for appearing in Wayne's World, I believe.
Yeah, and next to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
famous
and
for Wayne's World and
and
for knowing Anthony.
yes, exactly. So we came out of our hotel and we were going to see the Alice Cooper show, and we walked down to get into the cab, and who's waiting for the cab? Alice Cooper right next to us. Now, he's a really short dude. Like, literally, if I've never met a minion before, but that's the closest I could ever imagine to me meeting a minion is Alice Cooper.
just just likened Alice Cooper to a minion.
Well, he's real. Like, I'm 6'3", and I reckon he was lucky to come up to my knee. And like, so I'm like,
6'3".
yeah, and he was lucky to come up to my knee. His girlfriend or his wife, I'm not even sure if she's a person, she was standing next to him, and she was a whole lot like taller than him. Like, he's literally the smallest person, and the closest thing I can relate it to is a minion. So yeah,
I mean, you're basically a giant as well.
well, that's not true. I'm just not a minion. So yeah, but sometimes running into those crazy people like that is interesting. And what about like prime minister? Or have you ever run into like a politician? 'Cause they're like a really weird kind of people, politician, because you kind of think that you kind of know who they are, but you have no kind of real affiliation to want to like get their autograph or anything. You're just like, oh, there's the prime minister. Eh.
Yeah.
And then we're
You see the prime minister, and you're like, "What a twat!"
yeah, but you don't actually. But you know who it is. It's like it's like they're famous, but they're not like that interesting famous where you actually want to.
But yeah, someone that's famous, but you'd never want to see them.
Yeah. And they go around, they try and shake your hand. They're the only famous person that tries to shake your hand so they can get good publicity. Except in
Well,
COVID times.
I have written to my local MP before. I was thinking of writing to her about this Tim Tams thing.
Yeah, that would be pretty
So-
classy.
Because obviously, we were promised Arnott's Tim Tams at an affordable price, and we just haven't seen them.
What is your okay? We got two kind of things to really go on with here. One thing is, we obviously agree that they're called biscuits, not cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, just
totally different thing.
yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so we just had to clarify that for all the Americans playing along at home. Cookies and biscuits. Yeah, biscuits are not scones. Okay.
Which is also a different thing.
Yeah, I know.
And it's
It's super confusing. But next thing, do you have Arnott's biscuits, or do you have Arnott's biscuits, or what's your biggest biscuit provider in the UK?
Arnott's a biscuit. I thought they were like a chocolate bar with a bit of biscuit in it.
Yeah. No, they're like two bits of biscuit, and then in between that two bits of biscuit is the flavoring. So it could be like caramel, or it could be mint, or it could be like the plain Arnott biscuits are just like a more like a, what would you call that stuff? Chocolate, a smooth chocolate, like I can't even think of that, Nutella type thing. And then a ganache, that's the word I was thinking of. And yeah. And
Ganache.
then they would be dipped in chocolate, which is like a harder chocolate on the outside. Like, I don't know if I really sold these to you or anything, but they are quite, yeah, I would say they're okay. They've got so many different flavors here too.
I'm going to send you a picture of a penguin bar.
A penguin bar? Oh, you
Which
can
I
add
think
that
is...
you can add it to this photo thing and it'll just pop in.
Wasn't allowed to... What photo thing?
See, if you click on the side, over the side, there's a picture of two mountains in a frame. That's where you can add said photo. Add image, it says, if you hover over the item.
Okay, I can do it by URL.
A penguin bar. What is a penguin bar? Is that like a Leamington?
I don't know what the Leamington is.
You don't know what oh my goodness.
Hey,
So a Leamington is a sponge cake.
Oh no, I put like a gigantic circle over everything because I was being stupid.
Yes, you did nearly miss this.
There we go.
Blaine. Okay, where the hell did you put it? Did you put on 2 or 3? Okay, oh shit. That's very similar to a Tim Tam. But I'm pretty sure that's like more of I don't think the biscuit's quite as hard as a Tim Tam.
Yeah, I think what was going to happen is we were going to import Tim Tams and export penguin bars back to Australia. But that never happened. So not only that, but you'll never get to try a penguin bar either.
Yeah, I feel like penguin bar is definitely a thing that's a bit... yeah, look, is that like a ganache in there? Have they just stolen a Tim Tam?
I think it's basically just a Tim Tam. Yeah.
But you buy one at a time. You don't buy them in packs of 10.
The chocolate looks like already eaten ones. It looks like it's already been eaten.
It literally does look a little like that. It's like when people... Oh, you see, yeah, it's just... It does look a little bit like vomited chocolate. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, God.
Did your cat just attack you?
No, that was me. I just whacked my microphone.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I don't know if you heard that or whether you just heard
no one heard that. It's
oh
fine.
shit!
It's completely fine. So back to the Leamington. So Leamingtons are sponge cake, cream jam sponge cake, rolled in a ganache, then rolled in pie. What do you call that? Coconut bits. The little bits of coconut.
Desiccated.
Yes, desiccated. Defecated coconut.
defecated coconut. Delicious.
Yes, or desiccated, whichever you choose. But yeah,
Coated in So it's a cake coated in defecated coconuts.
yeah. So yes, basically. So you don't have Tim Tams. You don't have Lamingtons either. No, but after I've
No.
explained to you what Lamingtons are, now I'm going to get gross. So our chip manufacturer, like, Lay's, you have Lane's chips, or what do they call them?
Yeah, except they're called Walkers in the UK.
Oh, okay.
It's the
So
same brand. They're just called Walkers in the UK.
Yeah, we've got another brand over here called Smith's, which is a very popular last name in Australia. It's probably the most popular last name.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think Walkers is a regional name because the British people enjoy walking, and the rest of the world enjoys laying down.
why do they walk so much? Do they get bored or something? And
They
do
have
they eat when they're
nothing
walking?
to do.
Do they eat while they're walking? Is that why the chips get named after the walking? Or is it because they like to have like a high tea and have a refreshing chip snack whilst walking? Anyway,
I don't know. Okay.
do they have like weird, like limited edition flavors of chips?
Yeah, we've had. Excuse me. Yeah, we've had a few. I never eat them.
Yeah, we got Leamington flavored chips. Let that
Did
sink in
anyone
for a
eat them?
I did, and they're utterly. They were the most confusing item I've ever put in my mouth. Besides those other, there's those other weird things, but so they tasted a little bit like. They kind of tasted really bad straight out of the gate. You take the first bite and go, oh, that's really bad. And then you kind of finish off your mouth and go, they're not nearly as bad as I thought. Maybe I'll have another one. And then you start to go, oh, that's really bad. And then you finish off your mouth. And so you end up eating like a whole stack of them because you're so confused on what you're eating.
Yeah, and then at the end, you just think, why did I eat that?
No.
And then you go out and buy another bag.
No, you just vomit it up and it becomes a penguin bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how they make penguin bars. I'm pretty sure that. But you've got on our list of notes about number 5. Is there something to do with number 5 that we all need to know about? Is it a conspiracy theory? Why have you got number 5? Or is that another thing you can't remember for part of the podcast?
I was just thinking, when I was about 2 years old, we were being taught all the different numbers and how to draw them. I was always taught to draw a 5 with the stem first and then the top after.
Yeah, I was too. Is there
I've
another
never
way to
seen
do it?
anyone else do that.
Seriously? You don't do it like this?
I've literally never seen anyone else do that.
That's the only way we get taught how to do it. What about number 4? How do you do a 4? That's
That,
yeah. Oh, that's freaky. What about number 1? Do you put the things at the top or you just put the... Yeah.
yes.
Depends
That's
if I'm
only
going...
so it doesn't get... Because it looks like
Yeah.
an I or an L.
Or a 1 missing the bits.
It looks like a 1 as well.
And yeah, I don't think there's any other. What about an 8? Do you do 8 with the circles like this, or do you do the figure 8?
The figure 8. The figure 8 is the way to do it. There we go.
Well, when I was doing like engineering and things like that, you always got in trouble if you did a figure eight. Engineers love doing like two circles.
Did they watch over your shoulder as you were
Yeah, they
drawing
do.
an eight?
Yeah, and they pull out like a cane and they'll just break your fingers off.
You get the cane if you draw it wrong.
Yes, that's right. That's the only way that people know how to do figure eights as engineering. But yeah, sorry?
Didn't think you really used numbers for engineering.
Yeah.
In fact,
how do you write
you
how
basically-
long a distance is? Like this beam is 8.35 meters long. Actually, it
call
would be
it
in millimeters. No, it'd be in millimeters. It'd be like 8,353 millimeters. Everything's in millimeters as engineers. Do you still use feet or inches or millimeters?
It depends what you're measuring. You know, if you're
That's
measuring
super
someone's
confusing.
height, it's usually in feet. If you're measuring distance by road, it's usually miles and feet. If you're measuring a horse race, it's furlongs. If you're doing a running race, it's meters.
What
Or
about
sometimes it's miles. It depends.
Well, miles are shorter than meters, so if I'm doing a running race, it's definitely miles. But
We seem to have moved to kilometers more now.
so yous are kind of in betwixt, basically, halfway between both of these things.
Yeah, it's horrible. Basically, like I know about what a foot is, but I struggle with like I have no idea what height I am in centimeters.
What are you in feet? And I'll tell you exactly what you are in centimeters without even
about
looking at the internet-y.
About 6.
6 foot. That would be about 1 meter 76 centimeters, I'm guessing. I had to add that I'm guessing on the end because I'm 6'3", which is 1 meter 84 centimeters. Also, if you convert like a quarter inch is, I think that's like 6 point, no, is it 6 or 5? Maybe 5.8, I think. 12, half inch is 12.2 millimeters. Is that right? Anyway, that's super boring.
How many inch in a feet? It's 12.
I would just do a quick interlude on this song. Oh, that's so satisfying. This is going to be a great
talk
intro.
over it.
Yeah, this is a
Otherwise
great
I
intro
can't hear
music. Next week's intro music is going to be this song. Can you defend it?
It's actually making you like auto-tuned.
Oh, so I sound better or worse whilst listening to that?
You sound like a robot. Pretty good.
Yeah, okay. That's perfect then. So now we just have to. So we're naming the show Lee's Fantastical Adventure Through the Worlds of Ed and Ant.
Okay, I need to write that down, otherwise we'll just forget. Even though we're recording this, and we won't forget.
Yeah, no, we definitely won't forget.
Because it's such a great name. There's no way we can forget.
Lee's Fantastical Adventure Through the Minds of Ed and Ant. And everyone will be asking who Lee is. And it's spelt Lee with a double E too, because I'm terrible at spelling. And if it was the other version of Lee, I'd probably muck it up.
We'll just say we don't talk about Lee.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, let's just... Lee wasn't... Oh shit! I can't even write fast. Mouse writing is so hard here. Okay, just so no one knows where Lee is. Okay, next page. And why are we talking about little snails versus big snails?
Oh, well, I was thinking, if there was like a really little baby snail and he stepped on it, he'd be like, "Oh well."
I just put a cow noise in too, just so people would know. Okay.
But if you have a really big snail, like a giant African snail, and he stepped on that, you just feel like absolutely horrible about it. So, like, at what point do you
snail become a
start feeling
person?
bad when you step on something? Like, if there was a really, really tiny horse, like the size of a beetle, and you stepped on it and killed it, would you feel bad?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a good point. But what about like if you go with that same theory with horses can be big, and what about mice? Where do you stand on mice? Are you like there's
Would I
something
step on a mouse?
yeah, would you step on a mouse? Because that's like the perfect size to kind of test this theory.
No, I think that'd be horrible. To be honest, you'd step on it, and it'd just like splatter its internal organs all over the floor. They'd all burst out, and
And turn
it'd be
into a
just
penguin
terrible.
bar.
That's how penguin bars are made. You take baby penguins and flatten them.
We do have fairy penguins. Have you ever met a fairy penguin?
Fairy penguin.
Yeah, they are really a thing. They're tiny little penguins. They're literally a foot high. They're tiny. They're tiny little. They're adorable.
Are they
cool.
farmed for penguin bars?
No. They're just like They bring in the tourists because Taurus people, like, not Taurus as in the star sign Taurus, but Taurus as in the traveling Wilburys.
The traveling Wilburys.
Yeah, they're people that move around the world and sing songs. I think they're like a really old band, and they come to visit to see penguins, fairy penguins, not furry, fairy.
And they live in Australia.
It's more specifically Melbourne/Tasmania.
Okay. So even though they're usually an Arctic bird, they live in Australia.
Yes. You can Google this if you need to. They're only like really tiny.
And does anyone ever accidentally step on them?
No, what really happens is more like wild, like when I say wild, like stray dogs or cats will be bad news for them because they're really, really tiny. They're literally, like, I've fed them before. You can feed them at the zoo and whatnot, and you feed them like sardines, like just little sardines.
Sorry, I was just drinking some water.
Oh, I thought you were feeding a fairy penguin. So, yeah, they're only really small. So stepping on them. So back to the mice. You wouldn't step on a mice, but if there was a mice in your house, would you be content with murdering the mice? Like murdering, like that full-blown death sentence to the mice?
No.
Are you a catch and release mice person?
I would just live with it forever.
Oh, really? Would you name it?
Well, no, I wouldn't really. It would probably start eating things. So yeah, I'd I'd probably just evict it.
Is it evicting like catch and release?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know. I just had to follow that term. Because people are like really, mice are like so polarizing because people really hate them and really, like me, I think I'd go for the full blown murder if I could catch one.
Would you stamp on it though? Would you just stomp
No,
it
I don't
on
want
the floor?
No, because that would be gross. That would be gross. You don't want to do stuff like that. You want the mice to be kind of reasonably happy when it dies. You want like a humane killing. People are like always looking for these sustainable killings now. So this has got quite morbid quite quickly. Again, we seem to love morbid in this. Get wiped island the size of
Wet Wipe Island. There's a wet wipe. There's a wet wipe island in the River Thames.
Really? When you say wet wipe, you mean like the baby wipes, so the things that they wipe babies' butts with?
Yeah. So what happens is they always say they're flushable, but actually
they're not. I'll say they're not flushable.
They are flushable, but they like clog up the sewers. And then also the London sewer system is like so overwhelmed, and the backup is just to go into the River Thames. So wet wipes have just started like migrating to the River Thames, and now there's an island the size of 2 tennis courts, which is another British unit we use. We measure things in tennis courts or
rugby
double-decker
fields?
buses. Yeah, rugby pitches or
Yes.
double-decker buses sometimes. Got a roll of wallpaper and it said, or I think it was a bucket of paint and it said, this will cover this much this many meters squared. That's about the length of this many sofas. I thought,
you have people go, oh, you could fit a bus through there. Crikey.
yeah, or they'd be like, oh wow, this is 10 double-decker buses wide. When you're talking about paint coverage, you're like, oh, how many sofas wide will this paint cover?
When do you paint your sofa though? Is this like actually specifically sofa paint?
No. So it was wall paint, but it said the coverage of the paint in meters squared, and then
couches.
it said it was like this is about the width of 20 sofas. But I just thought that's the most useless measurement I've ever heard. I mean, sofas are like they're a variable length.
No, I actually feel like this is a really good thing because they are a variable length. But it's really smart marketing because you look at your room, and what's the biggest item in your room? The sofa.
My mother.
Okay, but if she wasn't in there, then it would be the sofa, right? So people walk in and go, oh, my sofa, I could fit 10 of these sofas. And then they do this like mental kind of thing in their head. And they go, oh, I reckon actually if I just put that sofa on top of each other 3 times and I went that way 4 times, yeah, I reckon it would be about 10 sofas worth of wall that I've got to cover.
Is that just in case you
forgot to measure
measuring tape?
Yeah, that's right. They kind of like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a smart marketing ploy. It's actually quite clever.
Yeah, I guess I am talking about it right now as well.
Yeah. We've got an ad on TV at the moment. Do you have McCain's an advertisement on television? Do you have like?
Oh, not an ad on TV.
Yeah. I speak very fast. I'll slow down. we have an advertisement on television right at this moment in time, and it's about McCain. Do you have McCain's pizzas, like the frozen pizzas?
They mostly make chips.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, which are not chips.
like the
Fries,
hot chips.
potato.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever you call them.
yeah,
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 anyway.
yeah. They mostly make that, but they also make like pizzas or like that, a whole lot of frozen crap that
Yeah.
for when you're lazy and you can't be bothered cooking. Anyway, their catchphrase is, because over here we say, "Oh, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing tonight, Ed?" And you go, "Oh, nothing special." And that just means you could be doing, like, you could be hanging out with the missus, you could be going to like movies, you could be doing all these kinds of things. You could be, but it's nothing really big to talk about. You don't really, you know what I mean? That's the kind of catchphrase. So now they've played on that to say that their chips are for all moments because it's nothing special. And this is a little bit like your sofa paint thing. It's just like going on that thing of what people know. Oh, I know I could fit a couple of sofas in there. Nothing special. You know, advertising is so interesting.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Well, you ruined that bit as well. So, so this Wet Wipes Island, is it like many Wet Wipes thick? Can you actually stand on it?
I think you probably fall through.
Right. Well, that's
No.
nothing
I
special.
think mostly I thought nothing special. Mostly I just thought it was a bit ridiculous saying it was the size of 2 tennis courts because that's
What's a tennis court in
don't know.
size? I would
I
guess it's,
haven't.
you know what I know? Actually, a tennis court is exactly one double-decker bus and 3 couches wide.
Yeah, just a couple of tennis courts. A couple of tennis courts worth of wet wipes.
Well, I was talking to someone the other week and they said that we're going to be known as the wet wipe generation because we use that many wet wipes that, and I don't think they're wrong. Like, wet wipes are just everywhere. Everyone, like, no one just, it's almost like people forgot how to go to the bathroom and just a little bit of soap, a little bit of water, and you can use a towel. Now I just grab a wet wipe because you can't be bothered getting off your couch.
Sorry. Did you just say you used a towel?
After you've finished with the washing of the hand. How else would you dry the hand off?
Okay. I missed. I stopped listening for about half of that. And I just heard you saying, like, people have forgotten they can just use a towel after you use wet wipe.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Well, I'm doing my bit on not using wet wipes.
Well, if you do need one, I know where you can get one.
Okay, where?
The River Thames.
Yeah, they're used wet wipes.
Yeah, but they've been
Who wants-
obviously recycled. They've been washed, they've been Thamesed, and now they're good again.
It's been washed in the Thames, which is full of sewage.
Oh, that is the one river in the world I think I would not swim.
And did you ever hear about the Great Stink?
What
It
is
was,
the great stink?
Before the sewerage system in London, all the sewage just got put in the river, and no one did anything about it until Parliament moved to London next to the River Thames, and it was so bad Eventually, they had to build a sewerage system because Parliament was right next to it.
Ah, so you just move Parliament when you need something fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. If it impacts Parliament, then start taking it seriously.
That's pretty much how the rest of the world works, I think. I've drawn a tire in in there. I
Oh,
would assume it to be at least one tire. Now I'll put a couple of wet wipes. They are the white things that you can't really see because they're
they're white.
they're
Got a
white.
white background.
Oh, you have a music quiz. Is this for everyone to play along with?
I actually don't have a music quiz. I was just thinking about they used to have those stupid music things where it was like put your iTunes on shuffle and answer these questions with the song names, and it's a don't cheat, but you always cheated because you wanted it to say something funny. Anyway, that doesn't really work anymore because no one actually uses iTunes.
Well, I did use iTunes today, and I really want to get to something that made me laugh quite a bit. Well, it's not iTunes. Well, it still is, but it's Apple Music, so it's a new version of iTunes. And this band have made this song, which they one of the lines in the song was, "Want to see what happens when I mix Xanax Blow and a MacBook Pro."
Yeah, I think you showed me that.
Yeah, it's in the meme section. And then Apple had come in with an editor's report to say Apple does not condone this use of hardware. So I just thought that was clever. I
They
actually
just want,
don't. Sorry.
they just want it to be as uncool as possible.
Yeah. Well, no, because if they, I don't know, they're probably a little bit worried that they were going to be like picked on or whatnot, like, so something like that.
People,
Anyway,
people are going to
no,
start. Sorry, you go first.
no, you go. I was just sorry. I clicked on a button and then it made everything go funny. So go.
Well, I don't know what I was going to say now, so.
Oh, okay. I've confused you. I wanted to move on to a little bit of I auto generated. I don't know if you read this because you normally proofread everything for me to make sure I've spelled it correctly. But I only just used auto generation to actually do the cast
The
description. Have you actually read any of it? Because it was
Contcast Podcast, People Talking Stuff, is a website that provides users with the ability to hide or mute people who are speaking in podcasts. People often find themselves having to listen to conversations they would rather not hear.
I thought it was perfect.
And then they reviewed it as well. I absolutely enjoyed the podcast.
It's perfect. I don't think there's anything better. I thought the next is it the next paragraph? I think is my favorite though.
About
I
the
thought
audio quality, or that we're not intelligent or interesting enough.
Yeah. So that was all auto generated. If you actually read that, obviously Ed didn't read that, so I'll put some goose on for him. You can't obviously hear the goose, but there's a lot of goose really upset right now. And guess this sound. You can't hear it, obviously.
No.
I'll play it again.
I still didn't hear that. Was it a pig?
No, it wasn't a pig. It was actually a snake shooting venom.
Ah, okay, of course.
So, yeah, I think we're almost potentially running out of things. We got heaps more. If you what do you want to go with next? So have you got anything else you want to wrap this up with before we move on out of here?
No, maybe.
Maybes.
Surstroming,
I did not
however
write
it's
that.
pronounced.
What is that?
Do you know what? It's a Scandinavian delicacy made from fermented herrings.
Yeah, that snake venom thing really did throw into that nicely. Okay. And so, why are we talking about this? Have you had this delicacy?
I kind of wanted to try some, but it's so expensive. It's because it has to be imported and it has the tendency to explode sometimes. So it's like this highly volatile can of fermented herring. You have to keep it in the fridge, otherwise sometimes it bursts. And you have to open it outside because it squirts fermented herring juice everywhere once you open it.
What? So
That sounds delicious.
how much is a tin? What's a tin worth?
Strumming.
I'm gonna draw a tin.
I don't even know if I'm saying that right. The Swedish challenge set comes with 2 cans of surströmming, and it is a $199.
Holy moly! That's a good amount of. And couldn't you just put buy some herrings, put them out in the backyard, and let them ferment?
Just fake rotting herring.
Well, I literally think it's the same kind of idea.
No, they add just enough salt to prevent the herring from rotting, actually.
What is just the right amount of salt?
About 7 grams per herring.
Imagine being that guy that's just like, oh, you only put 6 on this week. That was not enough. Next week we'll try 7.
Now I've just got a tub of rotting herring. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You'd be able to tell much difference.
You know what? It actually sounds like a delicacy from over here. It's called Vegemite. It tastes like shit, and
It's like shit.
oh, it really does. Like, I'm probably the only Australian that doesn't eat it. People eat it. They put it in our chocolate. You can buy Vegemite chocolate.
Do you also have Victoria Bitter chocolate?
Do we have VB chocolate? No. VB appears in a lot of stuff over here, but not. I haven't seen it in chocolate as yet. Have I seen? I don't think I've seen beer in chocolate.
I'm trying to find some Sturströmming. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
I drew it perfectly here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it did a real. I'm getting better. This whole drawing with. That's what we should call the show, Drawing with Ed and Ant.
And the audio version will just be rubbish.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't get to see the big things that we've written and stuff like that. But yeah, stir strumming. I don't think I'd like. Yeah, I don't think. Is that go? Does that tie into the pesto story, or where does the pesto story go?
Literally no idea what that is. I don't, can't
You
remember that at
you're
all.
going to make stir strumming and put it into the pesto.
Maybe. It was maybe just because I turned everything into a pesto. I got ahead of broccoli and I was like, oh, I could make pesto with this. And just anything. Just take your
Cauliflower
fermented herring.
rice? Are you a cauliflower rice kind of guy?
I've had it a couple of times. Just make that into pesto.
Make it into pesto? Yeah.
Fermented herring. Pesto.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I'll put this on a plate, actually. Good idea.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would like to do herring anyway. So that's enough food for this. Oh, I did the gumbo this week. I forgot all about the gumbo. I'm turning that into a devlog, so that's going to be pretty exciting. It's probably my most exciting devlog yet.
Is it actually about game development? Or is it just about gumbo?
No, you know how do you make videos sometimes and you like to compare like weird things with weird things? So you compare like when your child falls over to when a tree falls over or something, like make some really uncanny kind of comparisons. I enjoy doing that. So it kind of is about that, but it's more like you gotta do sometimes you gotta do some different comparisons. Comparison work is fun. People like unusual comparisons.
No, I don't do that.
You don't do weird comparisons? You do too. You are always comparing weirdly. You're like, oh, this is exactly like a Nissan car. Do you say Nissan or Nissan?
Nissan. Is that what you think I sound like?
Well, we're just gonna make sure. I don't know. We don't talk in real life. Like we only talk on podcasts.
It's just a slightly deeper version of you.
Slightly deeper version of my Nissan. Oh, I'm just saying, like, it's a good car. Like, if anyone wants a Nissan, definitely buy one. But I don't have one, so I can't really speak for the Nissan Owners Club. We've both got the same car. We have like weird coincidences. We've both got friends named Lee, which we will not talk about. Yeah, you're not going to talk about it exactly.
I'm not talking about. We don't talk about Lee.
Yeah, and we both have the same car, the exact same car. Is your car? What color is your car again?
It's a red one.
No, I don't have the red one. No, I definitely do not have the red one. I'm going to write tuner on it.
It's not.
Well, but yeah, so it's very interesting to have all these similarities, and yeah, I think we should probably wrap up the show then. Next week, we will find out more about what happens to Lee, and what else can we'll have the intro down now because now that I've got the intro tune. In case you missed it from earlier on, let's just summarize what's happening here. This is the intro tune. Then at the end, I'll just say Lee is missing. Or you could say that. Do you want to say Lee is missing or do you want me to say Lee is missing?
I'll say it.
No. Say it now. I'll just take it out of this bit of the show.
Lee is missing.
Okay, say it with a Jamaican accent.
God. I can't do a Jamaican accent. It would be so bad. It would be so bad. I'm not even gonna try.
What about a Welsh accent?
Good mission. How was that?
That was actually pretty good. I feel like that's perfect. So that's and
So at the end, it's just gonna go. Good mission.
perfect. Yeah. And then people will be like, "Oh, this show's intriguing. There's like an outer space kind of vibe going on, and Lee is missing. What's really happening here? This is quite endearing. Oh, is endearing the right word for that moment? I don't know. I have to always check on my Grammarly. I should listen to ebooks like you, or ed books as I like to call them, so then I could be like super smart." So we've got Lee's missing. Should we add anything else to that tune? Like, what kind of pictures should I put in there? Like, should we generate some pictures to put in there? We'll have to put the penguin bar in because people will know exactly what's happening there. And maybe I'll put a Lamington or something in there with a finger in the middle of it.
Finger.
Yeah, it's not a dead finger because we're not against dead stuff.
What is the relevance of the finger?
It will make people go, "Ooh, hang on. Are they going to accidentally bite that finger?"
Okay. I have predictive text turned on just for this.
Okay, good.
So I wrote a podcast review using predictive text.
And what did you get?
It says, "This podcast is okay, good, but I don't think I have internet archive, so I can have internet archive."
Is that it? Is that the review?
Yeah.
Okay, it's perfect. Why did you ask for an internet archive review, or how did this come about?
Obviously, I just talk about the Internet Archive so much that my phone just relates everything to it.
Do you find that do you like it when you go on social media and you get all those or something, and then they start trying to so they'll be like, "Oh, by the way, Ed, there's a new Internet Archive thing that's just started up. Would you like to buy into it?" And you're like, "Oh, I really do, because you know me so well, social media." Are you that kind of guy?
Yes. No, I don't buy anything, and I have 3 ad blockers just to make sure.
What? So what? The first one gets rid of the ads, and what does the second one do?
It gets rid of any ads the first one missed. And the third one blocks trackers, advertising trackers. Whatever they are.
Literally, all I do nowadays, I'm so lazy. I'm the opposite. I don't do none of that on. I'm like, okay, so just so you can hear me right now, iPhone, I really want to buy an electric skateboard. Could you please send me some advertisements? And then that way I don't even have to look on the internet. When I go on social media next, it will then just send it to me. And I'll
tell your phone what you want to buy.
Yeah. And I just speak out loud. And then all of a sudden you'll see next week I'll have one.
This is the new future of advertising.
Instead it is. I'm
algorithms. You just talk to your phone and go, "Hello, one electric scooter, please."
Yeah.
And then you load up Facebook and it's got adverts for electric scooters.
It dead set will. I'm not even joking about this. It will take all this on board. It's listening to me all the time. I'm sure of it. And I'm just really happy because it saves me having to even type into the search engine that that's what I want to buy.
Adobe Photoshop. That's the
Is that
only advert I can see. It's
because
probably
you've
because
got
I've
all
been using.
the blockers turned on?
I'm looking on my phone. It's probably because I've been using GIMP. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
Oh, it definitely would be. It'd be like, oh, you need to upgrade now. Why don't you go to
just
Adobe
something not
Photoshop?
free.
Yes. Yeah. I definitely wouldn't use GIMP.
Why?
It
Because it's
oh
called GIMP.
yes, it really turns me off. It sounds like so
GIMP.
that
It's
well, it
literally
sounds
called GIMP.
yeah, that's right. But it sounds like if you know how like women have a pimp, if guys had a woman that was in charge of them like a pimp, it would be called a gimp.
Okay, that's not what a GIMP is. Okay.
Okay, well, but that's what I thought of. Okay, is it more like Alice Cooper?
Is Alice Cooper a GIMP? Okay, it's kind of like a bit of a generic insult in the UK as well.
Oh,
You
really?
might call someone GIMP if you wanted to just like comically insult them.
Okay, I've never even heard that as an insult before. I don't think even know what. Um, yeah, that's definitely not an insult here. Yeah, my favorite insult is actually that we call English people over here pommies, which I find absolutely hilarious because obviously the like we're the pommies, if that makes sense.
What is a pommy?
Pommy, pommy is what's that one of those things when you take the first letter of each word and then you um
An acronym.
yes, an acronym. Thank you. Ed acronym.
An
Now
acronym.
so
That's my name.
yes, so the pommy stands for Prisoner of Mother England. So how can the why do we call you the pommy?
I don't
It's
know.
like it's just like a satirical or back to front kind of joke. Gone mad. I don't really like that, Red.
So, sorry, I'm
Doodling.
just colouring in this fish.
Yeah. No, you're doing a very good job. Well, I've learnt one thing that we have definitely got really good at drawing in this time. If nothing else, if we definitely can't cast, and we definitely are best off just doing a drawing cast about Lee so we can find out what Lee is up to. So potentially like next week we have the Lee files where we have like people send in images of what they think Lee might look like and we'll see if it actually is Lee.
Okay, the Lee files.
The Lee files. It's a great idea.
So,
But
this
no
is
one's
a
probably heard this
podcast.
part. Yeah, but people have probably turned out because we told them like half an hour ago we were going to wrap up the podcast. So they probably left because they thought it were done. And then we kept going. But then
Yeah.
we've got to not do that. That's what happens when you can't cast.
That was good. We should just end right here.
Okay.
That's the peak.